Hello, this is Psycho Driller from YouTube, also in association with zerogov.co.uk, and I'm here today to talk to a gentleman called Barry Talbot, who has an interesting story with an incident that happened a few months ago and how he's been treated by the police. Okay, hello Barry.
Hello.
If you, just for the tape, if you could tell us your name and your age.
I'm Barry Talbot of 32 Westhill Road. My age is 75, coming up 76.
Right, wow. Well, you look very good for your age, Barry, I must say. Yeah. Right, a few months ago, I understand you were walking your dog.
Yes, that's right.
Just locally down the road. And I just for a bit of background, there's a local farmer who you've known for a number of years, not really had any problems with him before, and you noticed that he stopped talking to you, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you were walking your dog and you happened to see him.
I walking the dog down Pirates Lane. I approached Mr. Timms and asked him what I'd done to offend him. He didn't reply. He immediately swung a diesel can at me and hit me on the head, the temple of my head, called me a effing bastard, and left me staggering. I immediately got up and I tried to defend myself. I kicked out. Whether I kicked him or not, I don't really know. With that, my dog ran away down the lane. I caught the dog up outside of Mr. Hunt's gate. I was dazed and staggered. Mr. Hunt asked me what had happened. I tried to explain to him, and he, with another person at the time, phoned the police and the ambulance to check me over. They took me up to the caravan by their vehicle and sat me down until the paramedics and the police come. The paramedics checked me over and told me I was probably all right, although I was dazed. The police arrived and asked me what had happened, which I told them, exactly the same as I've already said on tape. With that, they asked me, being it wasn't a serious case, to drop the case.
Right.
Or words to that effect.
Right, so they came in and they've heard your story.
Yes.
And then they've turned around and they've said, are you sure you want to continue with this?
That's correct.
Right. And what did you say?
I would think it over. With that, I said, well, go and ask Mr. Timms, or something, words to this effect. And they refused to take me on because I had my dog, and another person, Mr. Andrew Gill, drove me home with my dog. The police came, I told them the same story. They went across to Mr. Timms, the farmer, and asked his side of the story. They came back, he admitted the offence, and he was going to ring me up and apologise. That was the first. The first and the last I saw those two officers.
Right. Okay.
2 days later, two other officers came up to interview me and told me that the farmer had changed his statement and said I attacked him, which is completely
about you said, because they originally came and said that you said if he apologised.
Oh yeah.
So if you just tell us that bit before they came up and arrested you.
The two officers which came first of all, the two police officers who came first said that he was going to apologise to me, but when the second two officers came, he denied the offence and blamed me. But if I apologised to him, he would consider dropping it.
Right, which was originally what the coppers had said to you.
To you, yes, that's correct.
Because the original coppers said that he'd admitted the offence,
Yes,
didn't
that's
they?
correct.
Right, okay. So they come back a second time and then said that they've changed their story, that now they're siding on the side of Farmer Timms.
Correct.
And then what happened?
Well, when when I think his name was Everson, I told them to leave the house,
Right.
which they did, both of them. I was so annoyed at
Yeah.
what they said to me.
Of course, because from what? So this was a few weeks after the original incident as well, was it? Or
No, that was 2 days after.
2 days after the incident. So 2
Yeah.
days later, after saying, "Well, we've spoken to Mr. Timms. He's admitted the offence,
Yes.
and he will be along to apologise to you."
He
And
would ring me up
he would ring you up,
and apologise.
and you said you wouldn't take it any further if he did that.
That's correct.
Right. And then 2 days later, he hadn't contacted you.
No, 2 other police came and told me that a different version. He had admitted the offence firstly.
Yeah.
Secondly, he denied it and said I attacked him.
Right. So then you told them to leave.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what happened?
A few days later, I went down to the police station with no avail. The second time I went down there, I saw a black sergeant. He said to me that he would deal with the case and to talk to nobody, only him or a PC Stedman.
Right.
I never heard from either of the 2 constables for at least 3 weeks, and then the police came and arrested me.
For what?
Well, so I believe for assaulting Mr. Timms, the farmer.
Right. That's what you thought at the time when they arrested you.
That's right.
Right.
They took me to the police station, charged me, or I assume they charged me, for this offence. They took me into the medical person for medical because I suffer from blood pressure.
Right.
The person I spoke to at the time said I had high blood pressure, which I have, told me I had diabetes and cholesterol problem, and would advise me to go straight to the doctor, which can be confirmed through the doctor's records,
Right.
which I'm completely okay.
Right.
Then they took me into the charge room and interviewed me, and on this occasion I answered all their questions and told them my side of the story, and they took me out and told me that I wouldn't be charged.
Right. Okay.
With that, they drove me home.
Right. Oh, so that was good of them, I
That was
suppose.
very good of them.
Yeah, yeah. Considering you'd done nothing wrong.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So you got some paperwork, I take it, that came back saying what you were actually charged with.
Completely different. They said that on his statement, I read the statement. Well, I couldn't read it, and I still haven't read it because it's so disgusting the way it's been written.
Right. Poor handwriting.
Very bad, very
Right,
bad.
right.
And I was they arrested me and charged me, as far as I know, being a street fighter at 76.
76. Yeah.
I can't believe it. I
Well,
can't believe it. Unbelievable.
I'm shocked with this myself,
Yeah.
actually, Barry. Like,
Mm.
so, have you got anything you'd like to say to Mr. Timms?
Well, I think it should be exposed, because I think that my personal opinion, whether he's a Freemason or not, I don't know.
Right.
But I would think there's some strings been pulled somewhere,
Right.
and I'm disgusted with what's happened.
Yeah. Because you paid your dues, mate. You worked all your life.
Pardon?
You've worked all your life, have you?
Yes, yes.
And have you got any criminal records?
None whatsoever.
Nothing.
No, nothing.
Okay, so there's no history of violence coming from you.
No, none whatsoever.
Yeah, and you're the one who made the complaint. Well, somebody phoned
That's
on your
correct.
behalf.
That's correct.
And to summarise, the police attended. The police heard your story. Said they saw Mr. Gill, Mr. Timms.
Yes.
Said he's admitted the offence,
Yeah.
and he'll be in one way or another apologising to you.
That's correct.
And since then, you've had no apology, and you've been arrested and accused of the complaint that you originally raised.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much, Barry. For the benefit of the tape, we're going to go down and take a couple of shots outside of the house and go down to the field and the caravan where the ambulance attended you for your concussion.
Yes.
Just for the record, were you cut or anything? Or
Slight bruise on my forehead.
right. Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Barry.
Thank you.
Right, for the tape, we're just outside the gate where Barry was assaulted. If you just want to give us a quick run through again, Barry, what happened?
I was walking down through. I approached him in about this position and asked him what I'd done to offend him. With that, he swung his diesel can round me, called me a fucking bastard, and I was left staggering. I managed to get up and kick out, and that's all I can remember at the time. And my dog ran off down the lane.
Right,
And,
down this lane here, yeah?
Down this lane, and I was still dizzy when I got to the bottom, and I was helped by Mr. Hunt and another person.
Yeah, that's quite a trek down the bottom of the lane, isn't it, mate?
Well, yes, but I was more concerned about my dog.
Yeah, well that's it, I mean,
Yeah.
so, yeah, thank you very much,
This
Barry.
is about the position.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's exact, but as near as possible.
Right, and I'm correct in thinking there's a camera up there. I'll just zoom into the camera. So there's actually witnesses there.
Yeah. There was witnesses there who actually saw it, but I didn't know anything about this at the time.
Yeah, right, of
No.
course. And what time in the morning was it, would you say?
Like, I would think 10 months ago now, I would think it was about between 9 and half past.
Right, okay. So just your normal walk for the dog in the morning.
That's
You do
right.
every day, like,
Yeah.
yeah? Okay, chip. And just taking a long shot. There's the house that he was assaulted outside of. And then as you see, he's had to stagger all the way down here. With mild concussion. Whilst the farmer's just walked off. And he's barely got where he needs to go. About another 100 yards there in there, mate.
Yes, I would think so, yeah.
Right. You can see we're just at the entrance to where you staggered to, Barry. That's taken about, what, 4 or 5 minutes to walk
I
down?
would think so, about 4 or 5 minutes. I then met Mr. Hunt and the other person with the van. They said, "What's the matter?" I said, "I've been assaulted and I don't feel very well." They said, "Well, what?" I tried to explain to them what had happened. They rung the paramedics and the police, and they drove me up to their caravan and sat me down and offered me a cup of tea, which I had. There was 3 witnesses. There was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in the caravan to listen what was said between the paramedics, myself, and the police.
Right.
And they knew what had happened, and they did nothing about it.
Right, so they didn't take any statements?
No, nothing.
Right.
No, nothing at all.
Right, well, just for the benefit of the tape, I mean, they might not, their excuse for not taking statements is there's no actual eyeball witnesses, but they should have at least taken some addresses and that, surely.
Well, not until I got back to my house that
Yeah.
they did, but unbeknown to me at the time, somebody had seen everything on the CV camera.
Oh yeah, on CCTV that we just saw at the house.
Time, yes.
Right.
And this wasn't made known to me until after the event, 2 or 3 days later.
Continuing the interview with Barry, we've just got back up to the house where he was assaulted, And we were just talking about the paperwork that you got, Barry, back, and obviously you've already said for the tape that the handwriting was atrocious, and a friend of yours managed to decipher the writing and that, and the actual reason the copper gave for not following it anymore was that this is about a boundary dispute.
Well, this is right. What actually happened was when Mr. Timms rented the land,
And that's this land here.
this immediately behind me,
Yeah. I'm just zooming in on your place now, mate. Okay.
I had a fence up there to stop the cows
Right.
breaking the fences down.
Yeah.
He went to remove it, and I approached him and said he was doing criminal damage to my fence.
Yeah. And, just for the record, that's the see where the concrete wall is.
Yes,
your
yeah.
fence, your protective electric fence was like a metre away from that, was it?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So he's come along and he's taken down that defensive fence for you,
Yes.
and you
Never
said to him,
replaced it.
right? Okay. So what did you say to him then?
I said to him he committed criminal damage, and I said it was my land, which it wasn't, although I told him I registered it with the land registry, and that was all I ever said to him.
Yeah, because technically, because what you're saying, it was your land, because you've been fencing that off for 30 years.
30 odd years, maybe longer, a lot.
Right, and that stands under common law as taken. But you being a good man, you didn't bother registering it because
I just accepted it, and that was it.
yeah, right.
There was never an argument, a word said between us.
Yeah,
For 30 years.
30 years. So that's when he did it.
Yes, about 30 years. Yeah.
So now he's saying, well, the reason why I hit Barry around the head, this is my opinion for the tape, the reason why I hit Barry around the head is because he was arguing with me 30 years ago over a boundary dispute.
That's right.
Okay, and for and on the record, it wasn't anything to do with that.
No.
Okay, brilliant. Cheers, Barry.
Thank you.